By the way, first thing, dude, can you please press the goddamn like button? It's like, how can you be that lazy to not press the damn like button? It's like, wow, it's like, are you that stingy? Are you that lazy? How can you not press the like button on a YouTuber's video? You do know that helps the video out. Press the goddamn like button. How hard is that? Dude, I'm not asking for goddamn money. Just press the damn like button. It's like, how lazy can you be? Like, real talk. Every YouTuber I watch that I like, I always press the damn like button to support that YouTuber's hard work. Press the damn like button. It's like, wow, that's weird, bro. I swear, man, people's standards are just getting lower and lower. That's how dead wrestling is. I had some idiot tell me that LA Knight is super over. I'm like, what are you talking about? How is he mega over? Is that your bar? Bruh, if this was 2015, he wouldn't qualify as super over still, even in that era. If this was 2014, he wouldn't qualify as super over. Is that your bar? Is that your standard? Is that how dead SmackDown is? I thought you said Roman Reigns was some draw. That show is that dead that you think LA Knight is mega over. I'm like, wow. You most likely did not watch the Attitude Era or the Ruthless Aggression Era. Or most likely you didn't watch the John Cena era. You don't know what over is. He gets a decent reaction. Listen, Braun Strowman, Sheamus, the list goes on and on of people who get better reactions. His reactions are solid, but not great. Listen, let me give you a spoiler. If he was to win the Money in the Bank contract, I got news for you. He's going to cash in on one of the mid-card belts. That's a spoiler right there. He's going to cash in on Austin Theory, most likely. Is that your bar? Is that your standard? It's like, bruh, he's not cashing in on Seth or Roman Reigns. It's not gonna happen. But no, he's not super over. He's solid. He gets solid reactions. But the reason I made this video, dude, I had some numbskull tell me that I shouldn't bash his age, because look at AJ Styles. And I'm like, wow, here we go again. Another idiot comparing some guy to AJ Styles. Wow, we are doing it again. You did this with Jay White. That didn't age well, did it? So it looks like my video about why Jay White is not the next AJ Styles, that aged pretty well, didn't it? What is Jay White doing in All Elite Wrestling if he was the next AJ Styles? By your own logic, how come Khan is not booking Jay White as the next AJ Styles by your own logic? So I guess I was right. Listen, you can't compare every guy from New Japan, or you can't compare every old guy who gets called up to make roster to AJ Styles. That's not how this works. That is an insult. That's an insult to AJ as a legend. Dude, when it comes to AJ Styles, you can't tell me nothing that I don't know about this guy. I was watching him when he was in WCW. Yes, he used to be in WCW. That's how long I've been watching AJ Styles. But some numbskull said, look at AJ Styles. He was almost 40 years old. I'm like, bruh, are you saying that LA Knight is the next AJ Styles? Like, wow, are you that stupid? Are you that desperate to win an argument? Are you that stupid to show how much of a mark you are for night. That is mark talk. You are a mark. And to say nobody gets bigger reactions than LA Knight, it's like, wow, I didn't know Seth Rollins was retired. Like, huh? I didn't know Cody Rhodes was retired. Wow, you said LA Knight gets the best reactions on the main roster? Wow, I guess Edge retired. Like, wow, that's news to me. I guess Rey Mysterio retired that, and I didn't know. Like, this is news to me. Wow. But to compare him to AJ, like, why? Dude, every 40-year-old guy is not AJ Styles. There's a reason AJ didn't touch NXT. There's a reason AJ was caught up at the Royal Rumble. Because he was a draw, he was a big name, he was considered the best pound for pound wrestler on the planet when he was at the Royal Rumble in his debut. Hence why his debut had over 10 million views, I think. Go on YouTube, I think his debut has over 10 million views. I think. Like, AJ was a damn star. Listen, when it comes to Eli Drake, he was wrestling in TNA when nobody was watching. He was world champion when nobody was watching. When AJ Styles was world champion, millions of people was watching TNA. AJ will go down as the greatest TNA/Impact wrestler of all time. That's why he skipped NXT. Vince McMahon looked at him like he was fucking Scott Steiner. He looked at him like he was Booker T, Sting. Guys like that. Guys that didn't need OVW. Like, obviously, right? That's how Vince saw AJ, as a star that's already made. That people know that, hey, if we call him up to Raw or SmackDown, people will know who the fuck he is. Nobody knows who LA Knight is. Hence why he went to NXT. Nobody knows who the fuck LA Knight is. Hence why Vince turned him into Max Dupree and changed his whole fucking name. Can you imagine if Vince changed AJ Styles' name? Of course not. Because AJ was a fucking star. AJ is the best wrestler of all time in TNA. He will be a TNA Hall of Famer soon when he retires. It's like, I don't get it. Every guy who's 40 years old is not AJ Styles. It's like, just because AJ got that kind of push, that don't mean this guy deserves that kind of push. There's a reason why Bobby Lashley did not go to NXT. He came right from Impact Wrestling straight to Raw because he's Bobby fucking Lashley. Nobody knows who Eli Drake is. Nobody knows who LA Knight is. But the whole point is, he's not AJ Styles. He ain't no draw like AJ was when he was the face of the Bullet Club. There was money to be made when AJ got caught up because he was a fucking star. He was in a goddamn Bullet Club. There was money to be made off his name, hence why he skipped NXT. And it paid off. But when AJ was in TNA, that company was a rival of the WWF. They was rivals. Back when TNA was getting millions of viewers on Spike TV. So yes, Vince McMahon was aware of AJ Styles. And there was a point in time, well, look, for the past 20 years, Vince was trying to sign AJ. That's how big he was. When AJ was in Impact Wrestling, Vince McMahon was trying to sign him. So yes, Vince knew who he was. Hence why they gave him a tryout back in, what, I think 02, maybe? They gave him a tryout. But AJ said no. So yes, they always wanted AJ Styles in the WWF. So, but look, why are people's standards so low to say LA Knight is super over or mega over? It's like, wow, you have low standards. You don't know what the fuck over is. He gets weak, timid reactions. It's like, you think that's over? That's your standard? That just shows me how young you are. Seriously. That just shows how young you are if you think he's mega over in this dead era of wrestling. That's sad. But that's a huge insult to compare every older guy, every guy from New Japan to AJ. That's not aging well. So far, who has gotten the AJ push? Nobody. So stop comparing every guy to AJ as some kind of fucking inspiration. Dude, he was Max Dupree. Okay? I'm gonna keep saying it. He used to be Max Dupree. He's not AJ Styles. And yes, spoiler, he will cash in on Austin Theory. Spoiler. He will cash in on a mid-card champion. Spoiler. I'm sorry to say it, but look, I like LA Knight. I don't hate him. But when people try to push him down my throat, that's when I might turn on him, right? When you force a wrestler down my throat, I will turn on him down the line. I don't like that. Don't force somebody down my throat, because I will turn on LA Knight very, very quickly. But he's solid, right? He's good. He is getting over. But not to a point where he's a fucking main eventer. Like, bruh, he gets mid-card reactions. Hence why he will cash in on a mid-card champion. But, like I said, you can't compare every dumbass to AJ Styles. Like, bro, that's very, very insulting. It's like, listen, AJ was ageless, right? In terms of you can't use his age against him based on he was a TNA icon, a TNA legend who they were trying to sign for the past 15, 20 years. He was different. He had a name. When you have a name that's mainstream, you don't need NXT. By comparing AJ to LA Knight, that's like comparing Knight to fucking Sting. That's how big AJ was. AJ was in video games. That's how big he was. AJ was on the front cover of the first TNA video game with Kurt Angle. This guy was wrestling Kurt Angle. So yes, he was big time. He didn't need NXT. When it came to Eli Drake, he needed NXT because nobody knows who the fuck he is. He was wrestling in TNA when nobody was watching. That's my point. Please, we have to retire the AJ Styles comparisons. Every time it's like, wow, if Omega was to come to Raw, people will say, he's the next AJ Styles. It's like you did that with Jay White. And look what Jay White is doing. When it comes to Jay White and Juice Robinson, I will compare those guys to Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. That's what they're doing. So you can't compare everybody to fucking AJ. Jay White is not AJ. By your own logic, how come TK is not pushing Jay White as AJ Styles? Right? I'm saying, not everybody is fucking AJ Styles, man. Shut the fuck up, man. It's fucking insulting. Everything that AJ did in TNA and the goddamn Bullet Club, you think it's that simple to get a AJ push? What has LA Knight done to deserve a AJ push? The only reason AJ got that push was because he was a draw. He was the best pro wrestler in the world. He was considered the greatest TNA wrestler of all time. Millions of people knew who he was. He was famous. That's why he skipped NXT. There's a reason why LA Knight did not skip NXT. Because he's not AJ, you fucking idiots. He's not on that level of being mainstream. AJ is mainstream. Everybody knows who he is. When you say TNA, you think of AJ Styles. When you think of TNA, you don't think of Eli Drake. Get the fuck out of here. When it comes to Styles, Styles was a big name. Styles was a legend icon. That's why he didn't need NXT. That's why his age didn't matter. Because there was money to be made off his name. It's sad, right? It's funny because you numbskulls look at him like AJ Styles, even though Vince saw him as Max Dupree, even though Triple H sees him as a job guy. That's funny. Bruh, you're not booking the show. Vince and Hunter are booking the show. So how the hell you gonna compare him to AJ when they see him as a job guy mid-carder? Like, bruh, that's not how this works, bruh. He's a mid-carder. That's it. He's not cracking the main events. He's a mid-card guy. I'm sorry. These are the facts. He's not AJ Styles. I'm sorry. Just because he's in his 40s, what makes him AJ Styles? I mean, was he AJ in NXT? No. Dude, he was a jobber in NXT. It's like, wow, how low are your standards? But let's say he does win a Money in the Bank contract. Listen, you better hope he does cash in on a mid-card champion. Because if he wasn't to cash in on Roman Reigns, he will be the next Damien Sandow. Like I said, I don't want this guy to be the Money in the Bank winner. Because I think that might bury him. Because what if he does cash in on a mid-card champion? What will that do for him? What if he cashes in on Roman Reigns? What will that do for him? He's not going to beat him. So what the fuck is the point? Right? But listen, I'm trying not to hate LA Knight, but these numbskulls are trying to force him. Like, don't force him. It's like, bro, he's not that over. It's like, wow, in this weak era, you think he's super over? It's like, bro, just say you are fucking 10 years old. Like, just say you were a kid that never saw real wrestling to say he's mega over. It's like, wow, you obviously don't know who Dave Bautista is. Dude, by saying dumb stuff like that, just admit that you were a kid that never saw what real wrestling is. If you think he's mega over, it's like, wow, what am I seeing that you ain't seeing? It's like, wow, I gotta get my ear checked if he's mega over. It's like he gets weak reactions. But you think that's over? Hell, maybe I have high standards because I was watching wrestling when millions and millions of people was watching. Maybe I have high standards on what over is, right? He's not Seth Rollins over. Like, what? He's not Seth freaky Rollins over. So calm the fuck down. That's it, I'm done.